What I'm about to say may sound like just another idea to hype you up, but I assure you it's not. You have the potential within you to literally become whoever you want, not spiritually, but literally. I'm talking about how you can master shifting your identity, and it's the most powerful way you can change your life in the next 3 to 6 months. Because maybe you've had enough at this point, enough of the old reality, enough of your old life, being on the invisible treadmill that you didn't know you were on until you made a decision that you wanted more out of life. And that's when you realize shifting your identity is the key to stop running in place. Do you want to be more charismatic and respected in your relationships? Identity shifting. Do you want to build wealth and stop selling your time for money? Identity shifting. But when you shift into this new version of you, the real you, I might add, you automatically leave your former self behind, because that good life that we're talking about doesn't actually begin until you forget who you were. And I mean really forget. Let me explain why. Your brain is designed to keep you locked into a comfortable loop, but it doesn't particularly care if that loop is positive or negative. And the only way to break this kind of loop for good isn't through a ritual or another list of affirmations. It's identity shifting. Allow me to show you how it's done.
Most of them must in fact believe that death is the end of everything.
Well, you see, I have treated many old people, and it's quite interesting to watch what the unconscious is doing with the fact that it is apparently threatened with a complete end. But when he is afraid, when he doesn't look forward, he looks back, he petrifies, he gets stiff, and he dies before his time. But when he is living on, looking forward to the great adventure that is ahead, then he lives.
Most of society out there believes that the human brain is reactive and it simply waits for something to happen and then responds to it. But that's not the whole story. Your brain is not strictly reactive. It's a prediction machine. Your brain is predicting the past and recreating it every day. Right now, as you're watching this video, your brain is making thousands of predictions every single second. It's predicting the next few words out of my mouth. It's predicting what's going to happen as soon as you finish this video, how you're going to feel about it, what you're going to do about that feeling. All of these predictions, all of them are based on one single thing: who you believe you are. It's predictive modeling I'm talking about. The real engine behind your identity, which is defining your behavior and the outcomes that you receive in life as a result of it. Your brain is constantly and consistently predicting your next action based on your identity. And your identity doesn't live as a story in your mind. It lives within your body. It lives within your nervous system. It's not mental. It's behavioral. It gathers up all of the data from all the conversations that you had, events, all the people you met, and your reactions to them, and then it automatically behaves in ways that match your identity. No conscious choice involved, no conscious choice needed. Let's just say you had an identity where you were bad with money. Your brain begins predicting the next set of moves to fulfill that very prophecy. It guides your decisions. It finds evidence to prove that you're right, and it filters out all the good opportunities coming your way. And it's going to make damn sure that you're as comfy as possible on this ride it's taking you, so you don't notice a damn thing. When a person believes that they are someone who always comes out on the losing end of relationships, that's a common one, the brain predicts the next pattern to honor that belief, and it delivers with precision. It'll do whatever it takes to find the perfect person who confirms that prediction through your life experience. It creates past dramas because that's what feels familiar. That's what feels known. Your brain isn't trying to hurt you though in this entire process. It's just trying to keep you consistent. It's trying to keep you safe in the identity that you already suited up in, even if that identity is frustrating and monotonous. This is why surface level transformation techniques don't really work at a certain point. You can't just visualize a new car, a new lifestyle, a new way of being, a new relationship when your brain is still predicting from an old identity model, because you can't create new realities when you're still making choices as the same old you. Real transformation, the kind that actually shifts your reality and everybody's reality around you, requires something much, much more deeper. It requires identity shifting, because your identity, that's the real you. It's who you are when everybody is looking, and yet when nobody is looking. And that's what the universe responds to, because premium realities require premium identities. Desire is something that we will always have with us as human beings. We constantly want more out of life, better, stronger, faster. The goal isn't fulfillment, it's endless fulfillment. We don't want it to end. So if you're hitting a glass ceiling in any area of your life, you pick the area: income, your career, your businesses, or simply with the relationships that surround all of these things. Your predictive model is running an outdated identity program. Your brain predicts your future based on who you believe you've been up until today. And then it makes choices that fulfill that prediction. That's identity level reality creation. And this is the pathway to every single major quantum leap ahead of you. When your identity shifts, your brain shifts. When your brain shifts, your behavior shifts. When your behavior shifts, your reality shifts. And what we call manifestation becomes just a little side effect to this whole paradigm, not the cause of it. And this process happens automatically when you forget who you used to be. Now, this isn't some superficial spirituality speech. It's not just another ego massaging technique. This is about becoming someone new at such a deep level that your brain has no choice but to predict a different future. And I'm going to give you my proven method to jumpstart this process in this very lesson. But let's start here. I know this sounds wild, but stay with me here. The past doesn't exist. You're always looking back at your past life events through the lens of your present mind. The way you remember things, the meaning that you give those things, the story that you tell about them, that's all happening right now. The past isn't a fixed thing in a linear timeline. It's a story that you're telling yourself based on those memories over and over again. And that's what predicts your next set of moves in life. But if you choose to let your past dictate your current perception, then your brain predicts every single future event through the lens of your past, and the past officially becomes your identity. And when the past becomes your identity, you're not creating anything new anymore. You're just replaying that old game tape on loop again and again. And that game tape is repeating the memories like a highlight reel that reinforce the same narratives, that you've always been this way, that your father was this way, that your grandfather was this way. Nothing can change. It's in your family. It's in your DNA. That this is just who you are based on your childhood and you can't change any of it. Those aren't facts. Those are choices. Entertaining those beliefs is choosing to let old events define your present moments. The moment you decide that who you were doesn't dictate who you are and who you will be moving forward, your brain stops predicting the past through that identity. It stops recreating the same patterns. It stops pulling you back into the loop. And that's when the good life actually begins. But before we go any further, I need to make a crucial distinction. You ready for it? Because there are two very different things that get confused when paired together, and that's self-concept and identity. Self-concept is the story you believe about who you are. It's made up of various parts, your self-image, your self-esteem, and your ideal self, who you want to be, who you see yourself as. Identity is the version of you that emerges from those perceptions in the present moment. It's not a story, it's a state. Identity is your behavior. It's who you are being right now in this very moment. Not who you say you are. Identity includes your self-concept, of course it does, but it also includes your memories, your experiences, your relationships, cultural background. All of that helps you to understand yourself and your place in the world. Self-concept lives in your head. Identity, that lives in your body. The source doesn't care about your self-concept. Sorry to tell you that. It cares about your identity. It reads your behavior, your energy, and the choices behind all of that, and it moves according to that. This is why self-concept work alone doesn't hit the mark sometimes with those high-level things that you want out of life, especially in the act of calling in a reality of something you never experienced before. The shift happens when your identity catches up to it or surpasses your self-concept. When who you are being matches or exceeds who you think you are. It's the power of choice that activates this machine. It's not your thoughts, it's your choices. I made a poll a couple of months ago asking all of you, asking my subscribers back then, what did they believe mattered the most? Thoughts, emotions, feelings, the choices that they made due to them. What mattered the most in reality creation? The popular answer, of course, was thoughts. The true answer, the choices that come from them. Nobody, and I mean nobody, can control every single thought that pops into their head. You can't control every single thought that pops in your head, but you can control every single choice that you make, every single one. Identity shifting is behavioral. It lives in your nervous system and in your body. It's not something you think your way into, but it's something that you do your way into. Real transformation happens when you close the gap between the two, when who you say you are matches who you're being. This agreement between your conscious and your subconscious mind eliminates all internal conflict, allowing your brain to stop fighting you and start working with you. This requires action, and sometimes it requires a little bit of inaction, but it never happens through thought alone. You must behave your way into a new identity. When you consistently make choices that align with your desired identity, your brain updates its prediction model. It updates the software. It quickly notices It quickly adapts and it quickly rewires its programming. Eventually, those choices move past the struggle for consistency. They become automatic, and it's going to transform into an intrinsic part of who you are. That's the shift that I'm talking about. And it happens when you forget who you were. Forget who you were. Beautiful. But not through amnesia, but by releasing the emotional loyalty that you have for the past version of you. You've been protecting this version of you who was hurt, who was rejected, who failed, who was insufficient, still justifying their choices and explaining their story. It wasn't their fault. This emotional loyalty that you have is like an anchor and it's keeping you stuck. Forgetting that self is the ultimate act of self-liberation. It removes the predictive model that kept recreating the same outcomes over and over again. When the old identity dissolves, the future becomes undefined. And it's in that undefined space, the unknown, where true expansion, true self-transformation naturally occurs. By releasing the old identity, your brain stops predicting based on the past. It stops defending the old story, and it opens up the prediction model so that the possibilities that previously were invisible become visible. Identity recalibration happens in the present moment, today, not in the story of your past. We're not going to fix the past because we're going to change how we perceive the past today. Here's how you actually do this. Choose an emotional identity that you want to lock in today as your baseline, not tomorrow, today. Not when things get better, today. Pick an emotional state that you want to embody and use advanced meanings to describe those emotional states. You're going to use terms like sovereign, majestic, adored, affluent, whatever it is, whatever you connect with. Define what that emotional behavior is and define how you're going to show it through your waking behavior. Now, let's get into the action steps. This is the framework that's going to lock all of this in for you, I promise. All you need to do for this step is get a journal and get a pen. New identities come with more abundance. We know that, whether it's health, wealth, love, whatever you're calling in. And more abundance naturally comes with more responsibility. So instead of scripting another list about what you desire to be, you're going to script about who you are and how you're handling the responsibilities that come along with it. This is something that I mastered myself just a few years ago. So now it's your newest secret weapon as well. This is the shift that most people miss because they're so focused on receiving that they forget that abundance requires responsibility. And your subconscious mind, it knows this and it's just waiting for you to know it, which is why it resists when you're only scripting from a place of wanting without being. Here's how this works. When you write this list, it should not be about what people are doing for you, but instead what you are doing for others, not how you're being treated, but how you're treating others. Instead of writing that you get paid to exist or something like that, what does a person with overflow of wealth actually do day to day? They invest, they multiply, they spread their resources wisely. Right from that point of view. Right? That you're investing 25% of your income into your portfolio every single month, that you're contributing monthly to causes that matter to you most, and that you're creating opportunities for others with your wealth. That's your new identity. For your relationships, instead of writing that your partner makes you feel happy and makes you feel loved and appreciated every day, you're going to write that you create a safe space for your partner to be authentic, that you show up consistently with presence and attention, that you communicate your needs clearly while still honoring theirs. You're not scripting how you want to be treated. You're scripting how you're showing up as the partner who naturally attracts deep, reciprocal love. That's your new identity. As a father or a husband, since I'm one, instead of everyone in your family treats you with respect, you're going to simply write that you lead your family with direction and wisdom, that you're present for your children's most important moments, that you're always prioritizing quality time with them every single weekend. You're anchoring the identity of the man who earns respect through his actions, not the one who demands it through mental techniques. That's your new identity. This is identity level work, not surface level self-concept stories, because those methods are stepping stones to the lake of identity shifting, not the lake itself. When you write from this place of embodiment, this place of already being the person who handles abundance responsibly, your brain recognizes that identity as real and it starts predicting from that place. When you write from the place of already being the person who handles abundance responsibly, your brain recognizes that identity as real and it starts predicting from that very place. And now your choices will have better impact. And that's when external reality begins to align with who you're being internally. So grab your journal, grab your pen, and instead of asking, what do I want? Start asking, who am I being? That's the exercise. That's the work. And that's how you identity shift. Life begins in the moment that you stop referencing the person you no longer want to be because the old identity was only familiar. Not accurate. It held on to outdated predictions that no longer match the vision you carry. When you release that identity, your future becomes accessible again, and every choice you make from this very moment forward teaches your brain who you really are. Identity first, reality second. This is how your new life begins, by forgetting who you were and choosing who you are now. Not who you were yesterday, not who your past self said you had to be, not who your circumstances tried to convince you that you are, but who you're choosing to be in this very moment. That choice rewrites the prediction model. That choice updates the software. That choice creates new timelines. And when you make that choice consistently, frequently, constantly, when you show up as that identity day after day, your brain stops fighting it, your reality stops resisting it, and your life begins to reflect it automatically. That's the shift that I've been talking about. That's the self-transformation. That's when you realize that you are never stuck on an invisible treadmill, and you never were. You were just loyal to an identity that you no longer need. So go ahead, forget who you were, choose who you are now, and watch how everything changes around you. If this lesson activated something within you, type "I've shifted" in the comments down below and let me know that this wisdom served you well on today. And if you're ready to accelerate your identity shift with me, join my Interverse program. This is where I show you how to completely reprogram your subconscious mind through 5 transformative courses and weekly coaching. If that sounds like something you're ready for, click the link down in the description or find it in the pinned comment, or just keep on watching one of my episodes here on the channel. I am Shaun, and you are neither here nor there. Thank you for sharing your time and space with me.